Welcome to the first weekend of May in Lincoln, Nebraska, and welcome to Friday Night Baseball on Big Ten Plus as the Golden Gophers have traveled south to battle the Nebraska Cornhuskers in the start of a three-game weekend series. Inside the broadcast booth at Hawksfield Haymarket Park, I'm Bobby Hessling alongside Jacob Schrantz. Big weekend for both of these teams. Who needs this series more as we enter the final month of the regular season?
Yeah, it's getting down to the wire, and I think on the side for Minnesota, they've missed the Big Ten tournament each of the past 3 years, and with the injection of those West Coast teams into the Big Ten Conference, it's made it more challenging for a team like Minnesota to jump back into the Big Ten postseason. So this is a big-time series as they try to jump back into that top 12.
Here's a look at the standings right now and how everything shapes up in the Big Ten. You look at Nebraska, they currently sit tied for that 10th spot at a 9-12 record. Minnesota 7-14 in conference play, tied for 14th on the outside looking in, still with 3 Big Ten series left on both sides. Focusing back on tonight, this is a big series for both these teams, as we just mentioned, but Nebraska fresh off a walk-off victory. They've won 6 of their last 8 ball games.
Yeah, big win in the midweek against Kansas State in walk-off fashion, and it came from Gabe Swanson, a guy that once May comes around, the weather gets a little bit warmer, his bat seems to get just as hot as the temperatures. They need him to stay hot going deep down the stretch.
Minnesota, the exact opposite. They've lost 5 of their last 6 ball games. They're trying to get it turned around.
Yeah, they turned it around a little bit earlier this week against St. Thomas on the road, but that's not a conference matchup. That's not a power conference team, so they're looking for a lot of momentum heading into the back end of this season.
Minnesota and Nebraska. Big Ten baseball is next on Big Ten Plus. Starting lineups for the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. Here it is, top to bottom: Jack Spanier, Josh Fitzgerald, Weber Niels, Drew Birkland, Easton Richter, Jamison Martin, Charlie Sutherland, Jake Perry, and Jake Larson, top to bottom for Minnesota. This Minnesota offense has been cold as of late, but overall this season in conference games, they have not been pretty to look at regardless. In conference play, Minnesota has the worst batting average at a .245, least amount of runs scored as well, tied with Ohio State at 112 total runs. They have struck out the 4th most times in Big Ten play and are second to last in extra base hits in Big Ten play. Should favor Will Walsh, but you never know, especially at a hitter's park like Haymarket Park.
Yeah, one of the only positive aspects of this Minnesota offense is the stolen base number. They're tied for 3rd best in the Big Ten with 78 bags stolen on the year. That's over 30 more than the Nebraska team that's in the bottom portion of the Big Ten Conference. So, yeah, they struggle to get guys on base and score runs, but when they do get on, the Nebraska pitching staff and Will Walsh, as we see getting ready to go here tonight, he's going to have to be careful, keep an eye on that first base and second base bag, because this Gopher team loves to be aggressive, and that infield will have to be ready as well.
And here's the defense: Josh Overbeek, Dylan Carey, Caden Brumbaugh, and Case Sanderson is the infield. The outfield: Gabe Swanson, Robbie Bolin, and Max Butenbach. Hogan Halixo is behind the plate doing the catching tonight. Tonight's starter, Will Walsh, we talked about him earlier. Here is his overall numbers. He's 4-6 on the total season, making his 11th start, 56 1/3 innings pitched. The ERA is a 5.27, 46 strikeouts, 14 walks. He has 4 quality starts this season. But it's funny, you look at the quality starts that he has, he's lost a few of those games as well. Iowa is an example of that.
Yeah, that Iowa 1-0 loss, that one sticks in the craw of Nebraska for sure. That's a rivalry matchup. One of the top teams, in fact, the top-seeded team in the Big Ten currently at 20-4 with a conference record that is very impressive. To have been able to take that first game and really battle in that series and maybe have come out with a win would have been really impactful for this Husker team. And I'm sure Will Walsh, as a veteran, he doesn't let a game like that necessarily, hang on his shoulders the rest of the season, but in that moment, I'm sure it's very frustrating.
Walsh, the left-handed pitcher, he is more of your old-school lefty, throws a fastball, slider. Changeup is probably his best pitch if it's on. He has a cutter that is seen as his 4th pitch, and then works in the occasional curveball as well. He is tonight's starter. Minnesota will bring up Jack Spanier first, batting .312, .418, .416 slugging, 1 home run, 16 RBIs driven in. The lead off for the Gophers in Minnesota as they are wearing their solid gray jerseys with what is maroon pinstripes. It's almost like, if you remember, Jake, the Minnesota Twins old road jerseys with the pinstripes. It's rare to see gray jerseys and pinstripes, but the Gophers, they do it, and I've always liked the pinstripes on a gray jersey look, as The first pitch from Walsh to Spanier delivers and is fouled off to left side into the muddy warning track that is going to be probably a factor for foul balls. A lot of balls are not going to be thrown back into play. Those are going to be held on because the rain has left a bit of a number on the warning track and foul ground. 0-1 grounded on a third. Overbeek is there. Throw over to first in time, one away. Josh Fitzgerald steps up to the plate for the Golden Gophers, but you look into the outfield, you would have no idea that it rained. But then you look at the infield warning track, and there's just puddles everywhere.
Yeah, there certainly is, but you do have to give credit to the fantastic grounds crew at Hawks Field and Haymarket Park because they were on it from the beginning. 2 different delays. They set the tarp up pretty quickly. They were doing all sorts of work throughout the delay.
Fitzgerald fly ball, deep right field, not deep enough. Coming on in and making the catch in right field is Max Butenbach for out number 2. First pitch swing for Josh Fitzgerald. He flies out to right field. That brings up Weber Niels, batting .269, .419, .560, 11 home runs, 31 driven in. He's having a pretty solid year behind the plate and hitting the baseball.
Yeah, Niels is a problem if you give him a pitch to hit. And for this Nebraska's defense and pitching staff all night long, it's really going to be about how they can handle 3, 4, and 5 in this Minnesota lineup. You got Weber Niels, Drew Berkland due up next, and then Easton Richter. They're the 3 bats that have done most of the damage this season in 2025 for Minnesota.
First pitch to Niels was a called strike. That is laced into left field on a line back at the track at the wall. Weber Niels leaves the ballpark. Minnesota's on top 1-0. It's a pitch that stayed up. Niels read it like a book, and he puts it over the wall, and the Gophers are in front 1-0 early as he rounds third and will touch home plate. We mentioned he's hit the baseball very well. Home run number 12, RBI number 32 for him.
Yeah, that leads the team now. He was tied with Drew Berkland, who's coming up in a second for Minnesota. They both had 11 home runs entering this series, and it seems like they're having a friendly little inter-team competition for who can leave the yard the most in 2025.
Drew Berkland steps to the plate, batting .269. He also had 11 home runs, and he comes to the plate with 11, so he is now second in the home run leaders as Niels took it away from him, but he does lead the team in RBIs at 44. He had a first pitch strike delivered to him from Walsh. The 0-1 called in the outside black for strike 2. Berkland is cold in his last 6 games, batting 1 for 22. We'll talk about the overall hitting of this Minnesota team a little bit later. The 0-2, skied left side, foul ground. It is going to drift over the net and hit the top of the dugout, bounce into the stands as we'll do the 0-2 count all over again. But Berkland is one of the better hitters. He leads this Minnesota team in hits. It's weird seeing him slump right now, especially in this month of April, now May. You need your bat to come to life.
Now you certainly do, trying to make that Big Ten tournament.
0-2 runs inside. It's a ball at 91. That's the fastball from Will Walsh. We're expecting a 6:02 start time. We start an hour, 7 minutes late as Berkland swung on a miss for strike 3. Weber Niels has the solo home run. That is all for the Gophers as Berkland strikes out swinging. Nebraska due up in the bottom of the first here on Big Ten Plus. Hawks Field at Haymarket Park in Minnesota. The last 6 games, they've lost 5 of the last 6. But this might be the reason why. They have 5 really cold bats. All are in the lineup tonight. Easton Richter is 3 of 18. You see him at the top batting .166. Drew Berkland is batting 1 of his last 22. Jake Perry is batting 3 of his last 16, batting .187. Jamison Martin, 2 of 16, .125. And Jake Larson batting 50, 1 of 20. They are really struggling swinging the bat as the first pitch to Easton Richter, who is one of the guys mentioned, 3 of his last 18 and last 6 games, steps to the plate batting .273. He took a first pitch strike. .01 drops in, 80-mile-an-hour slider for strike 2. As a group for that Minnesota team, they are batting 10 for 92 of those 5 guys. That's the equivalent of a 108 batting average. Swung on a miss as Richter as the average continues to drop as Will Walsh gets him swinging and missing for his second strikeout. You can now actually make that 28 total strikeouts. Those 26 entering into tonight, 28 after the strikeout from Berkland and Richter. They have 10 walks as a group, and the on-base percentage is a .209. The OPS .361 in the 6-game skid amongst those 5. And Jake, that's not very good. It's not.
Yeah, some rough numbers. And this Minnesota team, we talked about it already, sitting outside the top 12 in the Big Ten standings. So currently outside of that Big Ten tournament, but still with a decent amount of time. You still have a few more conference series, including this one, where if they can turn it around, they still have a chance to maybe sneak into that back portion of the Big Ten tournament.
1-1 swung on a miss is Jamison Martin. He steps to the plate batting .213 with 5 home runs, 13 RBIs. It is an expanded Big Ten tournament field. It is now pool play this year rather than your double elimination bracket, so you more so have to win your pool. 1-2 is lined right to second base. Picked by Brumbaugh for the second out. Will Walsh, following the solo home run, 3 straight outs, brings up Charlie Sutherland.
And you talk about the expanded Big Ten tournament. Essentially, the way it's working this year is it's the same format, just add in all 4 of those West Coast teams because they're all having really nice seasons. UCLA, Oregon, USC, and Washington are sitting 2 through 5 in the Big Ten standings. An injection of strong baseball programs into the Big Ten going forward.
1-0 to Sutherland, drops in for a strike. You saw in the open the Big Ten standings, and what catches your eye is all the West Coast schools, top 5. UCLA is number 2, Oregon is 3, USC is 4, and Washington is 5. Iowa is the only one out of the original Big Ten of 14 that is in the top 5 at number 1. They have the best conference record at a 20-4 conference record. 2-1 to Charlie Sutherland, drops in for a called strike at 83 miles an hour. Good pitch from Walsh, and as that happens, Josh Overbeek adjusts with the shift, and now they have 3 infielders on the right side of the infield. They're all shallow right fielders. Swung on a miss. Sutherland strikes out. 3rd strikeout for Will Walsh, all swinging. He goes 1-2-3 in the second. Sanderson, Overbeek, and Carey due up for Nebraska in the bottom of the second here on Big Ten Plus. Brings up Josh Overbeek. Had a single into left field his first time up and has flown out to left field and right field his most recent 2 times.
Nebraska needs some offense in 7, 8, and 9 in this order. Overbeek, he's been one of the better bats for the Huskers pretty much over the last month or so. You got Dylan Carey coming up. He's almost at 50 hits on the year. And then Will Jeske, new catcher in there.
Overbeek's first pitch is grounded foul to the right side for strike 1.
And Jeske, he had the pinch hit double that kind of ignited the offense last inning. Huskers were able to add 1, but just weren't able to take advantage of the runners at the corners scenario. And we'll see if the bottom of the order sparks something for this Husker offense once again in the 8th.
Carey on deck. Will Jeske is in the hole, standing at the top step of the dugout. It's a fly ball into deep right field, ranging back at the track, at the wall, is gone. Josh Overbeek with a solo shot into right field, cuts it to a 1-run game. 4-3, Nebraska still has a little bit more life.
5th homer of the season for Josh Overbeek, and just like we said, right on cue, the bottom of the order coming up clutch. And the Huskers with a big swing of the bat. And my goodness, Bobby, it is close. 4-3. We'll see if the comeback continues.
Yeah, it looked like a changeup that didn't move the way Clausen wanted it to. And when that happens, Overbeek drives it a long way. Fitzgerald ranged back, tried to scale the wall, and it left. First pitch to Tyler Stone. A strike. It was dropped. Nebraska fans wanted it to be a ball. Now, most of the time when a pitch is dropped, you're going to call it a ball unless it was a true strike. Tyler Stone 0 for 4 this evening. 2 flyouts, a ground out, and struck out his most recent time up. And he's got runners at the corners and 2 away here in the 9th. That's fouled off to the left side, and he's in an 0-2 hole.
That's back-to-back, Bobby. Back-to-back 0-2 starts to these at-bats. Sundquist does a great job of getting ahead in these counts, but then Nebraska's done a nice job responding back.
I think Nebraska fans and Nebraska dugout thinks it should be a 1-1 count, not 0-2. 0-2 to Tyler Stone. Fouled off again. He stays alive. That's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for. Runners at the corners here in the bottom of the 9th inning. A massive series between two teams who are the bottom half of the Big Ten, fighting for Big Ten tournament play. The 0-2 to Tyler Stone. Foul to left side. We'll do it again.
The more pitches that Stone can foul off against Sundquist, I think it is slightly to Stone's advantage. Keep seeing more different pitches from Sundquist. I think it's the first time Stone has seen Sundquist tonight, so the more he can see, the better chances he has.
The 0-2 once more. Is through into right field. That's a base hit. That will tie the game at 4. Silva stopping at third. This game is even. Tyler Stone delivers. Runners at the corners, one away here in the top of the 10th inning for Minnesota as Jake Larson steps the plate. First pitch, runner takes off, they pull back on a bunt, and that's exactly what I talked about, where Jeske, you check on the runner at third, you let him take second. Now what paces through your mind is, do you go intentional walk so you have a force out at any base? Maybe, but you just turn it over the top of the order and give it back to Jack Spanier. It's a 1-0 count to Larson. Swung on a miss for strike one. The leading run is standing at third base right now for Minnesota. The insurance run is standing at second base. Count even at a ball and a strike. Broderick to Jake Larson. Shows bunt, lays one down. It's foul. It is foul down the line. It hugged the line, would have probably scored a run. Well, would have scored a run. It was called foul, and now it's 1-2. Do you show bunt again with the risk of getting out and putting 2 away?
I think you probably play this one straight up. With the way the offense has been able to move around this inning, you found that nice single from Perry. I think Larson might be able to follow it up.
1 away, 2 on. Runners at third and second. In a 1-2 count. Broderick home to Larson, the infield playing in. Ball on the outside corner. Good call. Jim Shawley's been favorable to the outside part of the plate to both hitters, but that time just a little too far outside. So the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 to Larson. Fouled off to the right side. We'll do it again. Any ball that goes into the outfield is going to score a run, and Minnesota will take the lead at the very least. Nebraska trying to walk out and make sure that does not happen. Now the question is, will Jamison Martin, if it's shallow enough, want to test the arm of Butenbach, Riley Silva, or Robbie Bolin? It's kind of up for discretion there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Luke Broderick to Jake Larson. Fouled off into the protected netting, and we'll do it again.
This is resembling some of those long at-bats from the bottom of the 9th that Nebraska was able to put together with Swanson and Stone just fouling off pitches in the clutch, trying to find another base hit, and I think Larson might be able to find one.
Two and 2. Broderick to Larson. Fouled off to the right side. And we'll do it again. Everyone else in the conference that's 9-12 won today. Nebraska is the only team that is 9-12 that has not won today, yet their game is still not over. The 2-2 once more. Luke Broderick to Jake Larson. Is back up the middle. That's a base hit. That will score a run. It will score another. Helam comes in. He's safe. It's 6-4. Minnesota on top of Nebraska. Jake Larson delivers with 2 more.